What's up, everybody? It's T Fields here, aka Thug Geek, here with the Fonz, aka Fonz Relly, for another BlerdSoup session. This is our episode 5, and we'll go ahead and get it going. Go ahead and get it started, Miss Fonz.
Do we want to slurp on some good news or some bad news? Because if we named our episodes, this would really be an episode of errors. Because half of our stories, two people really done fucked up.
Right. They done fucked up, y'all. They done fucked up. So what we got? What's on the topic of today?
Well, I'll start with some good stuff, which was the EA Play Live event that went on July 22nd in the afternoon. Yep. If you were on the East Coast, in the morning if you were on the West Coast during your lunchtime. They talked about, they closed out, I should say, with Dead Space with a 1 minute and 7-second trailer, which everybody fawned over, even though it had literally 4 words.
Literally, it was just literally, and it's a remake, so yes. It's like, here we go. So this is the thing. So real quick, this is why I'm finding it funny, because I'm a Mass Effect fan, and I like Dead Space too, but all these games are available on Game Pass on EA Play to play right now, with no remake, with no nothing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, what they did with Mass Effect was fantastic. So I'm like, are they going to kind of do the same thing with Dead Space, which they should? Which I'm excited for, since they're a remake. But I just want to figure out.
But it's also a from the ground up remake.
Right, so it's not like what Mass Effect was, which was a remaster, which they touched up on a bunch of shit. So I'm kind of excited for that, because Dead Space is a good franchise. It's been seen almost 8 years now. Last game came out, Dead Space 3, was 2013, back on the 360. So it's good. I like the fact that EA went back and they actually went back in their catalog, like, yo, let's bring this guy back. So I'm super excited for that and see how they're going to run it, because it'd be fun to play with Isaac again.
Well, the stars of the show, I think, of the EA Play Live were the Seer, the new character in Apex Legends, which is coming in the Apex Legends Emergence. Everybody loved him, myself included. Black character alert.
That's one thing about Apex Legends. Whoever developers love black folks. This is like the one game that has more person of color than any game out there right now.
Yeah, and their trailers are incredibly lore heavy, and I think that story is what really, I think the story has everybody really excited.
And the great thing about Apex Legends, all the shit's free. But you gotta pay, though. You gotta pay to get good. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta pay to get your skins. You gotta pay to unlock some people unless you want to go. Unless you're really big on fucking just grinding. Mm-hmm. It's nothing like just going and paying that $20 and unlocking characters.
I've actually never played Apex Legends, but I have a lot of friends who do. So I actually didn't know that it was technically free.
Okay, this is the best thing about Apex Legends. Let's say, for example, if you got shit to do, but you got time in between before that shit you need to do, Apex Legends is the perfect game for that. Let's say you go on a movie, you gotta go to the movie in an hour and a half. Oh, let's play Apex. It's the one game you can just jump on, knowing that, yo, if I gotta get off to go do some shit, I won't hurt anything. You won't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And that's great. It's not like playing an RPG or a game where you might get in depth into. You're like, fuck, I gotta be somewhere in 5 minutes. And you're like, fuck, I need a save point. Apex Legends is like, no, go ahead, you're good. We're good. It's a great send-off. So, what else do we have at EA Play?
Battlefield 2042 showed off the new game mode, Battlefield Portal. Mm-hmm. And they said that maps and modes from Battlefield's 1942, 3, and Bad Company 2 could be played. And you can mix content from them and create new game modes out of them. Mm. And it'll have the maps, from what I understand, and the arenas will come with new maps. They'll come with new weapons. So they basically the person who spoke for them on EA Play Live, he said that it was a love letter to their fans. So I'm really excited to see.
Did the developer say that, or EA say that?
No, the GM.
I'm about to say, because I know fucking EA don't give a fuck about their fans. I hate to say it like that, but they don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep pushing. I mean, you know what?
They're trying.
They are.
I'll stick up for EA.
I can't, because Madden is still trash. All the sports games are still trash. Like they haven't really done anything. Like honestly, me personally, what's the last biggest? I mean, outside the shit they do with Bioware as a publisher developer, they ain't really done shit. EA itself.
FIFA.
And that's sad because you see changes in FIFA, but you don't see changes in Madden at all. And Madden is to this day their biggest seller. Like Call of Duty outsells Battlefield 3-1, no problem, no matter what. But it's like, there's other games out there where you're like, yo, y'all keep forgetting. It's almost like what another company that does this shit. Oh, like Nintendo. Where they forget about their other IPs they have, and they just stick to shit that works. Like, yo, we got
talking
Mario.
About Metroid again?
No, I'm not. Even though I should. I got a Metroid and I got a Samus T-shirt right now. But I'm just saying, that's it. Like, it's like there's other IPs they have that are fucking awesome. So that's why I'm happy about Dead Space, but at the same time, it's like, yo, y'all still got other shit in your book you can still fuck with. But, it's EA. Madden coming out next month. $60. Even though you just paid $60 last year. And it's like with Activision with Call of Duty series. It's like, yo, stop. Like, you don't have to come out with a Call of Duty every fucking year. Like, Warzone was fantastic. And everybody's still playing Warzone. Like, it's like, yo, this shit's fucking good. Like, I don't need Black Ops, Cold War. Like, you don't need that shit.
But,
Go ahead, please.
I'd say Black Ops Cold War is pretty popular, though.
Well, Warzone is just as popular still, though. That's the thing. Warzone is still fucking popular.
And Warzone came out, do you remember when? 2014?
No, Call of Duty Warzone came out 2019. It's been out for 2 years. Yeah. 2 years. And
I did not think it was that young of a game.
And that's the thing. Like, it's been 2 years, and it's like I think it's on the 6th season right now. And it's still fucking fun. It's like, yo, like, just stick to this method. Like, we'll gladly still keep paying money. Just stick to this fucking method.
And then the last one that from EA Play Live event that stood out to me, I will make a comment though and say that there is a dice card combo game called Lost in Random that I had a hard time like following them like talking about for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. So I hope you guys will check that out on your own and kind of make your own decisions about it. It's called Lost in Random, and it is a video game, dice and card combo game.
That sounds cool.
And then the other one that stood out to me is called Grid Legends, and it's a racing game that combines race car driving gameplay with live action story segments. And I noticed that one of the story segments is a woman wanting to be the first woman race car driver to win that specific race. And so I'm kind of all in and invested in her story, of course.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds freaking fantastic. Like, I'm all about card games because I played a shit ton of Magic. Like I played a shit ton of Magic Arena and Original Magic. I mean, I just played a couple weeks ago again. Actually streamed it before I got banned from Facebook for streaming for some reason, but stop that.
Yeah, I noticed that the stream didn't last for very long, and I was like, oh no, did something happen?
Yeah,
to
some
his
DNA
technology?
rating thing that happened through Facebook. I'm like, I'm not even playing music while I stream. Like, I'm not doing that stuff. And so they banned my account that we stream on for 30 days. So that's why if you guys haven't seen us streaming on Facebook, you can still stream Twitch on Twitch and YouTube, no problem. But as far as like Facebook, that's why, y'all. Just get your license in the heads up. So we're on 30-day ban. That sucks because we have a level gaming account. But anyways,
we do have streaming on our Twitch channel 3 times a week, sometimes a little bit more, depending on what's going on. And you can always watch us at twitch.tv/besn.tv. Okay, so I'm going to give us a little bit of controversial news.
Here we go. Diving in deep.
So, BlerdCon was this weekend.
Woo!
It is a Comic-Con convention that has been around for 4 years that is dedicated to highlighting, centering, and showing off the Blerds at a Comic-Con safe space for, by, and about us Black folks. But of course, anybody can attend because it's a Comic-Con and there would be mega legal repercussions if only Black folks could attend. And there's a myriad of things that you can do at the BlerdCon convention that you can do at any other regular, schmegular Comic-Con convention, because at the end of the day, it's a Comic-Con convention specifically for the Blerd. So there's a vendor hall, lots of people dressed in cosplays, and they take pictures, and they have group photos, and it's awesome, and there's a cosplay contest, and you can enter so long as your cosplay is 80% handmade, and anybody can enter and participate. And so, for this year, our winner for the cosplay contest was from something that I'm unfamiliar with, a card capture Sakura cosplay, and I could not tell you the name of the cosplayer, but all I can tell you, because it's been going around the internet, is that she is a white female.
Interesting. So I have 2 point of views on this. One, if it's a cosplay contest, it's a cosplay contest, period. So whether white, orange, purple, green, whatever, it's about cosplay. So I actually looked at the cosplay. The cosplay wasn't that great at all compared to other pictures I've seen from BlerdCon with some amazing cosplayers. So with that said, I mean, literally, like it was the cosplay was just regular cosplay, like card capture character. Like it was super simple. Like it was a person that had like a robotic thing going on. I was like, yo, why didn't that win? But so yeah. So then the second thing, it is BlerdCon, so I would kind of assume a person of color will be winning cosplay. So yeah, just saying, if it's a cosplay contest, anybody should win, no matter what color. But as a BlerdCon, it shouldn't have been this cosplay. So unless they knew, did they know the person? Like, was it an inside job? Was it betting?
Not an inside job, I don't think. Don't be tinfoil, Tim. Not an inside job, but the argument was made by the judges online, because that's where most of the arguing is these days, is online. Yeah. The cosplay did exceed the rules, being 100% made. What I think impressed the judges, because it was mentioned, was that the silk use in the cosplay was hand dyed, which I think is quite a feat in and of itself. And I'm not somebody who makes clothes, so I just generally think just like sewing a perfect seam is, quite a feat. So, and the judges have stood by their choice, and that was four cosplaying judges who were black, who were there. Mm-hmm. Judging the competition. First place would go on to represent BlerdCon at a Comic-Con convention in the next couple of months.
Okay.
So I think with that being part of the prize, it's not a good look. But
it really isn't.
There's no but.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. I mean, but I'm sorry.
People are people are incredibly emotional about it.
It's PC. I feel like it goes back to the PC bullshit, where it goes back to the everybody can win shit. But at the same time, like, yo, now that you're saying, so for me, I guess the photo's not is showcasing everything that you just said about the cosplay. Mm-hmm. Like, if somebody's dyeing silk, yeah, you know how fucking hard it is to dye silk and shit. Like, that's fucking impressive. Like, if it's all that different shit, okay, then yeah, that is definitely wasn't cosplay. If she's doing silk, like dyes and shit like that must mean like, and if all the cosplay, I mean, the judges are like super, like, like know all the materials and shit that she used, and yo, a good cosplay is a good cosplay, period. But yeah, like I know she was doing all that. Oh, the silk was flown in from Germany. It had all this like 18-layer stuff going on. And it's all handmade, like, hey. But then again, it's a BlerdCon.
It caused quite a controversy online, and there was a lot of arguing about it from a lot of people. And I have never been to BlerdCon myself. Somebody did put a collage of all 4 cosplay contest winners of BlerdCon together, and they were all women, and it was half and half in that 2 were white women and 2 were women of color. One was Asian and the other was black.
Is that from the previous years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the first year
now it's getting interesting.
The first year it was a woman of color. The second year it was a white woman. The third year it was a woman of color, and then this year it was a white woman.
So this is not the first time it's been a white woman then.
Correct.
So let's stir the pot here a little bit then. So if they're doing that, then it's just like, hold on, let me think about this real quick, because if it's a good cosplay, it's a good cosplay. It's BlerdCon, so obviously people are assuming black people should win based on that merit, which is, I mean, it's a black event. that anybody's accepted to go to. But yeah, that's definitely stirring the pot though, because I feel like, I hate to say this, are we gonna start getting more non-people of color at these events because they can win the cosplay event?
I hope not.
It's like, yo, I'm not gonna go to Otakon. I'm not gonna go to freaking OhioCon. I'm gonna go to BlerdCon because I know I have a better chance of winning. I mean, what's the prize and shit too? Like, what are they winning?
I don't know what the whole prize was, okay, but the main prize that everyone was talking about regarding the winner was that they'll be representing BlerdCon at other cons. Tim, no, don't laugh.
That's funny.
Tim, I'm telling you not to laugh because, like, here's the thing: is that I just have regularly been going back and forth on this, and in a matter of 12 hours, I went from, well, I mean, the rules are rules,
right?
And like fair is fair. To why do white people feel the need to center themselves in black spaces in like a matter of like 12 hours? But I still feel that way. I feel both ways, and I feel like this is such an emotionally and such a charged topic of conversation. It's gotten really far, and like the winner is returning her prizes. She has, you know, deleted a lot of her socials from my understanding.
Because of course the online assholes were, oh, you suck. It's like she just went to an event. Like imagine you go to an event, you enter, you win, and all of a sudden, oh, you suck. I just entered an event. Like see that I agree. That's uncalled for. That's bullshit.
And her friends encouraged her to do so. So like I just imagine that I just imagine that feels terrible because it's like your friends know, you know, the hard work that you put into your cosplay, and they want you to show it off. Like, you know, nobody knows that they're going to win such a thing. Right. You know what I mean? And
it's the thing is, like, I hate to say it like this, but it's like, now that is she going to feel different about black people now? That's the other thing too, because like think about, because you have some people that like love being around other people, other cultures, they just love it. And like oh shit, I won an event at this person's culture shit. Okay, wow. And like the name calling shit's uncalled for. Like she didn't choose to win the event. She just entered and then she won. She's like, oh shit. So everybody talking bad about her, that's not cool. Like y'all can fuck off from that. But then I get the branding part of BlerdCon. Like, hey, you're gonna be our brand ambassador to showcase what we do here at BlerdCon. It's like, but why am I your brand ambassador? Not a person of color telling me to come to a person of color event. That I get. That's a marketing issue. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, you damned if you do, if you damned if you don't.
Damn if you don't.
But I'm always looking at it from one perspective. If it's a cosplay contest, it's a fucking cosplay contest. Race had nothing to do shit with it. A Martian can win that motherfucker. That's how I look at it.
A Martian. Who's to say a Martian hasn't won a cosplay contest yet?
We don't know because they're shapeshifters. We don't know. They could have won all of them. Or like every major popular cosplayer is Martian. We don't know that either.
Have you ever done a cosplay, Tim?
Yes. I've done several cosplays before. I've actually cosplayed. Let's see, because oh my god, one cosplay was Killer Bee from Naruto. I always cosplayed a black cosplayer. I've done Tozen as well too, and then outside M Bison cosplay as well too. Yeah, I've done. And then obviously I was actually working for our Villains Expo that we were working on, but that's another story for another day. I'm getting a Doom costume made because Doom is my favorite villain of all time. So all metal.
Doom is pretty cool.
He's fantastic. And then maybe a Kang the Conqueror, maybe just because it's Kang the Conqueror. Kang, we some Kangs. Oh my god, so many memes came out of that. So many memes.
You have plenty of time to pick a Kang variant too, because I imagine we'll be seeing plenty of them.
Oh my god, the black TVA is a black-owned company.
Pass it on, just in case you didn't know.
Yep. And the thing about it, like, I mean, I hate to change subject real quick, but if you actually paid attention to it, yes, every single black person was a major character in the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Black-owned. Black-owned. Yeah, Marvel. Y'all like that was y'all was. I see what y'all did there. Black-owned. Black tech matters. Oh my god. Yes. Go ahead. What's we got? I'm still shocked about this BlerdCon situation because like it is literally a conundrum. It's like great cosplay. Oh shit, a white person won. Okay, but the cosplay's good. Oh well, and you're gonna represent us at other cons. It's like,
a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Like I just don't even know like what to say about it at this point because like if she gave away her not gave away, no, but she's returning her.
She shouldn't have gave away shit. Yeah. She should have been like, "Fuck y'all, I won this shit. This shit's mine. If you don't like it, you can reach me at blah blah blah." Like, oh, these internet trolls and like, I mean, but we honestly though, we've seen this happen before. Remember when Sonic first came out? They showed the trailer.
Yes. And somebody brought that up. We bullied a whole studio into changing his character design, and it worked. I have not seen the Sonic movie yet, but I know it worked because I've seen the trailer. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
That's what a lot of people said.
And the studio's going. Like the studio's done. Well, a lot of people don't know actually how movies are made. Like movies are made it's pretty shady business. A lot of people don't know that, but like movies are made for very, very shady. And it's the reason why companies like that go out of business because I don't know if I should go into this because like a lot of people don't know this.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say about this about people bullying them into doing Sonic's original design. I think they did it on purpose. Mm. I think they wanted to try something new and was like, well, why don't we do this trailer and see what the response is? And so they did, and they got a response. And they were like, okay, great. So let's just play it off like they told us that they wanted this, and so we're doing it for them. And so they did. Yep. And we believed them.
But that's the thing. That's not the first time I mean, literally, I don't keep saying we, but like the geek culture has bullied,
internet.
Right, has bullied people. Into, like it happened actually with Infamous 2. Like people weren't like with how the code was looking. They bullied him literally inside the game, changed the character. Changed the character. It's like, oh, it doesn't look like Cole. We're used to this Cole. Like cut the hair, and they did it. So, I mean, I guess enough petitions and all that different stuff, you can bully your way in life and win. But not cosplayers, y'all. Like, come on, really?
Don't bully cosplayers. It's really not fun.
That should be a t-shirt
If you don't want to be bullied, you probably shouldn't bully other people. Yeah. How about that?
And I just don't get this online bullying. Like, how do people, like, I don't get it. Like, oh, my God, you hurt me with your words online that I can just delete and it's done forever. Like, I don't get it. Like, in person bullying is what I'm used to. Like, in person, like, you see the person.
Physical bullying.
Right. Oh, you're ugly, you're this. Oh, I see that. You told me that. Okay. Online, somebody telling me that, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, my God, my day's ruined?
I think it comes back to people, like, always wanting to, well, I guess speaking from experience for me, I guess it comes from a place of, like, wanting to please others. And so when a stranger says something negative to you, of course you're going to take it to heart.
It's a fucking stranger.
Yeah. And that's
shit, you ruined my day, stranger.
And that's like the psychological crappy thing about it, right? Is that you know that, like, it's a stranger who, like, has, like, who does not know who you are, has absolutely no, like, impact or, like, value in your life. And yet, like, what they said, like, still stings anyway. So I empathize, just a smidge. I do want to move on here because I want to.
No, real quick, because I got to jump back on the subject real quick. I'm sorry. But it's just,
I didn't realize. Just for our listeners and our viewers, Tim had absolutely no idea about this
at all
controversy, and so I told him that he had to, like, hold his tongue about it until, like, we were, on air. So.
And I'm unleashing it. But okay, this is the thing. So I guess I'm be real with this because a lot of things, especially now, because like I'm a generation, I'm an 80s generation, so we grew through technology, literally. And so we always just view technology as just that, where I know the next generation that came in from the 2000s, like they lived on technology, like they lived off this stuff. So their interaction is really based on being recognized through social media. Like that's how they live through social media. Whereas older cats, I hate to say like I'm an old John or something, but like us older cats, are like, oh fuck you, fuck off, and that's it. Well, most generations I know now, like my niece and nephew, like they literally get, justification from social media. Like it justifies them being alive and stuff. So I kind of get that, but to bully somebody and it's all a mental thing to me. I'm like, yo, you can't let somebody who doesn't exist online bother you. That's like growing up in the early days of PC gaming and LAN gaming. We're like, we got dropped. They dropped it. It was kids dropping in my left and right. I didn't go like, oh my god, I rolled my gamer score because I got called the N-word by a little kid. I'm like, it's a little kid playing video games that's trying his best to use racist slurs that he never heard of before, or actually have heard of before. But still, at the end of the day, don't bully somebody because they won a contest they entered in. They had no control over the damn situation. They just made a cosplay outfit, thought it was cool. They won, and now all of a sudden you won. You suck. But guess what? If you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT. That's it.
If you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT.
But yeah, that's definitely something Blerd kind of need to get their thing on. Like, maybe make sure break it down to 2 categories: non-color, color. Now let's see, that's segregation.
Now you know they can't do that.
Segregation. See, everybody, I laugh everything off because I don't make sure to take it seriously. It sucks. Like racism. I'm not saying racism is okay at all ever. But I'm just saying, an event called Blerd. All I'm saying, if it's Taco Tuesday and you order a burger, don't get mad at the results. That's all I'm saying. What we got next, Miss Fonz?
It is okay. So you've been all about the Steam Deck for the last week. You even pre-ordered it.
Whoop.
Well, you should pre-order a different handheld on July 29th called the Playdate by Panic. Now, Panic are the people who released Untitled Goose Game, so you already know that this is going to be super sweet. The Playdate is a yellow handheld game that is literally crank powered. So you just crank it, and the more you crank it, the longer your power lasts. So you'll have a crank powered handheld that you can literally take anywhere. It's got a 2.7-inch screen with a black and white display, so it's incredibly retro. It's got your classic A/B D-pad button system. And it's got 21 unique games on it. And I'm going to read you some of these games.
Oh, that what happened. So that's what happened. Go back to the camera real quick, Erica. What? That's why. Okay, so yeah, you can't read it, unfortunately. Because when you click away, you pause. So that was the error that happened earlier when we were doing the testing. That's what happened earlier. Yeah. Well,
the one that stood out to me that I saw was called Loose. Well, first off, the one that I stood out to me that I saw, it was called Loose Marbles. And I'm pretty sure it's a marble game, a marble video game. And so I want it. And it's going to be $179 and $199. And there's 21 games on it, and I can't even read them to you all. I'm so distressed.
But it's definitely going to play that date. And check it out. I think it looks awesome. It's in the retro look. It's got a dock too, like an old school dock for TV and stuff that you can. I'm gonna probably get one because I'm a collector. I mean, I like certain items, and so it's definitely that retro game where I just wish, because retro games like this are awesome, but it's static. Like once you get it, that's it. Like there's not gonna be no update for games on here. I highly doubt. Like there's not gonna be a new list of other games keep coming out, unfortunately. So. It's going to have its nostalgia reasons, so I think it's pretty cool, though.
I think it's cool, and I think it's going to be a neat little inconvenient. It's going to be a neat little, convenient, game to play when you're, out somewhere and you can't really, have your phone. I don't know. It just makes me, I kind of want one. It's just, and, I mean, the games on it, you're really not going to play anywhere else, you know what I mean? It just feels like one of those things that you would see in the National Video Game Museum in Texas, one of those really just one of those just really niche handhelds that you've never seen before. Yeah.
I'm wearing the shirt because
I love it.
How was it though? How was it?
I
Because she
think
wrote
it
an
was
article, and
great.
if you guys checked it out, she wrote a great article about it on her
I
adventures.
did. You can read my travel piece about the National Video Game Museum at besn.tv under our news and blog section. And I had a fantastic time. I think my boyfriend also had a great time. We just regularly pointed at things
So
like
was it like a
throughout the.
historian there with you guys, like an old Gandalf looking dude, like, "Hello, kids, welcome to
No,
the National Video Game Museum."
they let you. It's really cool because you basically just like it's kind of like the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, in which like you can interact with a lot of things
Even
and
during
look
even
at
during COVID,
them.
you can touch it.
Well, they sanitize things, and there's hand sanitizer everywhere. And I had hand sanitizer attached to my bag, so I was like fine with that.
Mm.
But they do regularly sanitize
Okay.
they regularly sanitize their items the day we visited.
So what all did you touch and feel?
So you were able to play some of the games on there, some of the video games on the original devices. So I actually played like a Donkey Kong game on like an original like Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And Donkey Kong had like his own little section with like a bunch of like unique like merchandise. So like there was like a cutout and a skateboard like a skateboard deck. There was like 4 skateboard decks, and I thought that was kind of weird because I didn't think that like Donkey Kong had like a skateboarding like game, or maybe it was just like a marketing thing. But they had the bongos from the Donkey Kong game, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They had an entire wall of video game systems from 1972 until like the Wii U. And I just remember like standing at that wall because it's right behind the big it's right when you like first walk into the museum. It's got like this big like statue that says like National Video Game Museum at the bottom, and it's got characters like posing, but behind it there's like a wall of video game systems. And I just remember like going to the wall and like pointing to like the systems, and I was like, I had that one, so and so had that one. I wasn't allowed to play that one.
So it really wasn't a Game of Thrones feel because you're at the wall.
You're a dork. But I mean, there's video game systems like mounted and displayed everywhere. Like, and they have their own arcade. Mm-hmm. And when you get your tickets and when you buy your tickets and you get your wristband, they give you tokens to play at the end of it, and that's really cool too.
That's dope. So how many different total things could you play? Everything?
I did not play everything. I only played a couple of things. I tried to play Dragon's Lair, and I didn't really understand it because the 2D animation was terrible.
It's horrible. The game is actually horrible itself.
Yeah.
Like somebody was like, "Well, we animate a game, and then we try to add some controls to it that won't work at all."
Yeah, I did not think it was that bad. So I wasted 2 tokens on that, and then I played inside the actual arcade because the Dragon's Lair actually has its own little section. Mm-hmm. And that like it's like there's like a giant like painted mural that like goes into like a bathroom section that's like in the museum. And so like on the girls' bathroom is like painted the princess, and on the guys' bathroom is like painted the Dragon's Lair protagonist. So that was really cool. But in the actual arcade we played Mortal Kombat and I lost.
Did he finish you?
Mm-hmm.
I still remember. Oh my! I just had a flashback because I remember when I was a wee lad. I was at this go-kart place when I was younger. It was me and my brothers, and we're at this go-kart place, and all of a sudden I hear "finish him." I'm like, "What the fuck is finish him?" I look over to my surprise and see a guy playing Sub-Zero and a guy playing, which at the time I know, another guy playing the orange dude, which was Scorpion, a yellow dude, begin to pull his skull from his body. Now imagine you, this is the 90s, like this 91, 92.
Yeah.
I'm in 2nd grade, and I'm just like, my eyes just, and my mouth just dropped like, is that murder? Like, am I witnessing murder? He said finish him, and he just did that? I'm like, and then literally I was drawn to it. I was freaking out at first. and then I was drawn to it. But yeah, that was a good moment. I guess that was a good moments in video games. That was one for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't
did you have any nostalgia moments at all? Where you was like,
I had tons of nostalgia moments. Well, I feel bad because like there wasn't really a whole lot of like Crash
how do you feel
Bandicoot
bad about
like
nostalgia?
games. I just because like a lot of it, I feel bad about my nostalgia because a lot of it is like secondhand. Like a lot of the game, like a lot of the systems, I didn't really have growing up. Kind of my peers had. I was always like slow on getting the next big game or like the next big console,
Okay.
so I always had to wait, you know.
But you still experienced it though. And that's all that matters. You still experienced it.
Yeah,
because I was that neighborhood kid that had all the shit. Everybody came to my house, and I'm cool with that. Like yo, Tim, can I play that game? I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, hell, see, I was that guy. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and I just really like, you know, I never really thought that like a lot of the games that were on display were really considered video games. And then I think about some of like the handheld like electronic games that I had like growing up, you know, in my childhood, like an Aladdin game where you just like leaped over things. And it was just like, it was shaped like an Etch-a-Sketch, but it was like an electronic game. And I never really considered that to be a video game until I saw similar games like it on display. I was like, I never really thought of that. So I'm blown away by the amount of things that are classified as video games that I'm familiar with. And then the other thing that cracked me up was like keyboard attachments to video game consoles from like the late 70s, the 80s, where like you had to take the entire console and like set it in like a big keyboard attachment. I live for that. That was hilarious to me.
It gives me life. It gives my soul together.
And they had this little like setup exhibit in a section where they talk about video game stores. And yeah. So it was really cool, and they had like a bin of like a bunch of like video games like in like the bin, and how they were like for like they were like $1 or like 90 cents because like video games ended up becoming like so cheap.
Yeah. But once again, thanks to Gerald Lawson, who made the cartridge.
Right.
Shout out, Godfather of fucking gaming, people. Continue.
So, and it was funny because my boyfriend actually like stood behind like the video game shop counter for a minute, and I like leaned over and I was like, "Hey, handsome, got any cool video games?" And I was like, "Man, I was like, I could totally
role playing in a role play session."
I just thought it was just so funny because he just looked like he belonged back there, and I was like, man, I could totally see you working in a video game shop. And because he does like, and because he wants to do like homesteading and like grow his own like food and stuff, he was like, probably in another life. I was like, you definitely look like you fit back there.
Oh my God.
I said a little too well.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even I remember back in the day. I mean, I used to work at freaking Funkoland. I worked at freaking Radio Shack. I worked at freaking EB Games. But I remember back in the day, like when you did, like it was reversed. Like you saw a lady, a young woman working at a game store. You're like, no way.
No way.
Like, it's almost like it goes to like an Animal Channel type shit. Like, oh, it's a young woman at a video game store, and she priors the way. And then for some reason, fucking nerds and geeks have this fucking default where they got to start questioning the fucking nerd. Why? I don't get that. Let's confirm she's a nerd. Like, oh, like, dude, like, does it matter? Like, not everybody's gonna be in depth, and that's in depth with certain things. Like, I mean, some people want to play games, So what game do you play? Just Mario? Like, I hate motherfuckers do that shit. But anyways, I'm sorry. I mean, don't you get that probably? Don't you get like we're like, oh, you're a gamer? Like, well, show me.
Like, well, yeah, I used to, and then especially when I would talk about playing The Sims, and then like a lot of people like started like getting quiet when I started telling them about like the kind of mods you could have, and I think it more intrigued them that they knew that I was telling them about how I basically like knew to put like mods in my video game. Um, but it's funny that you mention like harassment and like sexism in the video game industry.
Which leads into our next segment.
Our final and our probably most heartbreaking segment of BlerdSoup episode 5 is the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, there's a major trigger warning for workplace discrimination against women. In this story, there is talk of death. So please, if you are listening, please have a care to take care of yourself after this segment. And please make sure that you always make sure to protect yourself in video gaming, no matter who you are, and protect yourself always online, and no matter what, protect yourself in the workplace, because at the end of the day, you are the most important person that you have to yourself, and it is so important to know your worth and to make sure that people don't hurt you, take advantage of you, and make sure that you're okay. And please, if you need help, reach out to someone.
And literally, like, we don't play that shit. Like, if you ever gonna be alone, take this. Make sure you got that shit. Go ahead.
California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing is suing Activision Blizzard and 2 of its entities. So Activision Publishing, and then Activision Blizzard, Activision Publishing, and then Blizzard Entertainment Inc. are being sued for fostering a frat boy workplace following a 2+ year investigation into the company.
Ooh.
The investigation of employment conditions where they discriminated against their female players includes work compensation, assignments, promotions, and terminations. 20% of their workforce at Activision Blizzard is women. And so their most notable allegations, according to Bloomberg Law, and because I read the 30-page PDF law document myself, the most notable acts were cube crawls, in which male employees at Activision Blizzard drank alcohol and went to female coworkers' cubicles while they worked and engaged in inappropriate behavior towards them. They played video games during the workday while women workers worked. There was an instance where a person in the marketing department, a woman, was putting on more marketing campaigns and doing more work than her colleague, and he got promoted before her, despite literally doing less than her. African American women were more likely to wait 2 to 3 years to be promoted than their colleagues, regardless of their color. They regularly engaged in sexual banter towards each other, made rape jokes, and commented on their female coworkers' bodies. Women were criticized for leaving work early to pick kids up from daycare. They were literally held back from being promoted and having positions because their male supervisors were worried about them becoming pregnant. One woman was literally told that one woman employee was literally told that she was being held up on a promotion because they were worried that she might get pregnant and might like being a mom too much.
Are you fucking serious?
Because apparently caring for another human being in this world who's literally going to be someone and have kids in turn is like the worst thing that can happen to a video game company like Activision Blizzard.
We can't lose Sharon if she has a kid. No. Like, are you fucking serious? Wow.
One female employee killed herself while on a work trip. A male employee supervisor ended up ringing butt plugs and lubricant on this work trip. And before that, she was regularly subjected to sexual harassment. And at a holiday party, they shared pictures of her genitalia.
How did they get? I mean, I hate to say this, but how did they get pictures?
I don't know. The court documents didn't say that, but I'm sure it'll come out. Once.
Because otherwise, once
proceedings
hacking.
are underway.
Yeah. That's horrible.
Activision says they value diversity in the workplace and that the Department of Fair Employment and Housing is making false claims. I mean, they say more than that, but that's the
This
gist of it.
is shocking because, I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm looking at programmers, coders. Most of these motherfuckers are introverts. For them to be like, and most of them like are antisocial, don't really socialize except for like conversation or building a game. So this whole shit is, I mean, we already had the not Pizzagate, but something else that happened in the game industry too. Like this is not the first
Gamergate.
time. Gamergate, thank you. That's happened before. But wow, like, are you fucking serious? Like that's fucked up. That's fucking horrible. Like this, like that's like. I've never seen game developers act like frat boy. That's literally frat boy culture.
Well, this is an entire workplace culture too. So this is happening in an office in a AAA
studio,
publishing studio. Yes, publishing/development studio, and this is like something that, and this is a studio that everybody plays at some point.
Yeah,
Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch. There's something else that Activision does way more than that. I know that for a fact.
Activision Blizzard.
But those are the big ones. Yeah, but those are the big ones.
StarCraft 2, StarCraft.
Yes. But World of Warcraft specifically is known for fostering a sexist culture in its gaming.
I mean, they have whole servers and mods of crazy shit though.
Yeah.
WoW gets pretty fucked up.
This is just now coming out because
real quick, because this is like it's fucked up no matter what. But what's the difference between? I mean, and there is a difference. There's a huge fucking difference between playful bullshit banner at work and sexual harassment. Let's just get that out the way. Like, that's two different fucking things. That's two different fucking things. Playful banner saying you fucking idiot or you suck or jokingly. That's I mean, I get that, but like to be having pictures of genitalia and shit like that, that's overboard. Like, tell a motherfucker, if you get pregnant, you're out of here. Like, what? Like, you don't, like, everything, that's your personal business. What you do after you clock out is whatever the fuck you want to do. That ain't got shit to do with the companies at all. And that's mind-blowing that, like, like, somebody murdered himself on a tour?
I don't think people should also be berated for needing to leave early to take care of their kids. I mean, like,
kids is kids.
Being a parent, I think, as being a kid once, being a parent is like something that is like incredibly important, I think, to the world, because it's like, I personally believe that a lot of people nowadays severely underestimate the importance of like bringing another person into the world, because like how you treat them, how you raise them, how you teach them to treat other people, like shapes like the way they are for like the rest of their life. And I say this as somebody who was constantly regularly aware, like hyper aware of like their existence, like half the time, all the time.
That's like, and that's the thing about parenting. Like, one thing once you become a parent, like I'm an uncle. I'm not a parent yet, but I'm
an aunt, so I feel you.
But I still have those same worries and concerns where I think about my nieces and nephews all the fucking time. So, as a parent, if you're not with your kid and you're at work and something happens, you automatically switch to parent mode. Like, you can't, and even to this day, like, my folks are older. I mean, I'm older too. Even to this day, my pops are calling me, hey, everything all right? I'm like, yo, it's instinct. It's always still there. And they even knock somebody like, oh, well, you can't leave. We got to finish this game. Like, okay, I get projects and deadlines and shit like that, but nothing's more important than freaking family. Oh my God. I just thought about the Dom from freaking Fast and Furious, freaking Milne everywhere.
Yep.
I
got family.
Right? First of all, everybody, I know I don't try to turn everything to a joke, but I like to turn everything to a lighter point. That's all. So forgive me on that. But no, I will never forgive sexual harassment, because you don't do that shit. You don't make people uncomfortable, period. No means no, stop means stop, fuck off, move on. Like, that's how you do it. Especially in nerd culture, geek culture, like, shit, what the fuck? That's what blows my mind. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different other sites that nerds go to that exist that aren't gamers and geek stuff. I don't want to throw it out there, but you know what I'm talking about. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But you don't bring that shit. I do. But like I said, a lot of nerds and not nerds, and don't have that social skill. So they literally, off the top of their head, they're freaking watching something they shouldn't be watching. And if they can say that in real life.
A lot of these positions that are mentioned in the court documents seem to be less like program, and from what it seems to be less like program and game development.
Probably the project manager's getting harassed. It seems like all of it was just project management. Yeah. So did it say
project
positions?
Management, marketing executives. They named names.
So it was executives too.
Yes.
Ooh, now that's where I don't tolerate. Like I get the, I'm not trying to say lower levels, but I get the like the levels of like development and shit, play for better shit, but executive, because I mean I'm a CEO, I don't play that shit at fucking all. Period. That shit's not cool.
And HR, from what the court documents say, we're actively aware of, the ongoings, and we're actively not doing anything about it.
HR to do shit. Yeah. Is that job that much care for you? Did you care about that job that much where you like, fuck it, this scoot under? That's fucked up.
They document them like they should.
So they document it and then they put it in the file cabinet. All right, thanks, Karen. Document it.
Where it's, I'll look into this and investigate this, and nothing ever, comes of it.
Damn, that's a lot of employees too, man. But sadly, I hate to say it like this, even though this is fucked up. Mm-hmm. Activision's gonna get over it.
Yeah.
Like, this is not gonna stop the Overwatch League. This is not gonna stop WoW. It's not gonna stop any of these games from coming out, because you know why?
Because people are still gonna pay for them.
Yep. Make change. I hate to say it, you gotta hit people, and you gotta hit the pockets. And Activision, I mean, literally, they're listed on the NAS. They got bread. They got stupid bread. Where they can like, all right, well, let's hush this up. Let's talk to our marketing department.
The marketing department, where the women do more work than the men.
Because that's the main reason why I started my own shit. Is because, like, being a person of color, I was trying to be in the marketing department, but for some reason, everybody sees I hate to say it, everybody sees a marketing person as a white lady or an Asian lady. They don't see a black male who literally went to full sell for this stuff and internet marketing. Get no love. Oh, well, I'm like, so I'm not qualified. Like, like, that's the thing, especially with marketing. I mean, I do coding and stuff too, but like, I love marketing. So yeah, that's fucked up. So it's like, yeah, you get in this position, you get there, and now like, they bring in the old 19s, 20s. Hey there, babe, hot stuff. Like, see, I'm just saying, that was just an example, y'all. That was just an example.
Right.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see. Well, I'm really going to have to follow this
Please do.
As we go along, because this has dominated video game industry Twitter all day. Like, everybody's talking about it. Women are sharing more stories. This is going to be bigger than the Gamergate situation, and I can already say that with confidence.
It has to be. It has to be.
It will be, because now, even I wholeheartedly believe that I do not think Activision will be able to build a case in which they can prove that they did not do these things at all. If what they say is true, I'm sure that they would have no problems, making their executive salaries public, if there are even women in executive positions at Activision Blizzard at all. But we're really going to have to just follow this as it goes. It's very fresh. The Department of Fair Employment and Housing had by July 21st, Wednesday, July 21st, to file this complaint, and they did so prior to. So the day after, it's safe for, or the day of and after, it's usually safe for public consumption. So you can find the original 30-page court document at BloombergLaw.com. And that is it for BlerdSoup this.
Well, I want to get back on the subject, because I got to ask you, how do you feel being...
Ask me?
Yes, how do you feel?
Oh, see, I was hoping we could avoid
Nope, that. I knew you was trying to, too. That's why you let me talk. You ain't slick. Nah, see, it's your turn now. Table's yours. Let's be real, because as you being new to the industry, now you're into it, got your feet wet, diving back and forth. Now you're doing backsplashes. How do you feel about the situation? Just even with what we're doing.
Well, I worry about. I think I worried about it in the beginning. The way in which the job was the way in which the job was found to me was a little odd.
Where was the job found to you anyway? Because I wasn't doing the postings at the time.
Oh, a former executive of yours had slid in my DMs.
Okay, say less. And as she said, ladies and gentlemen, former executive. We don't want no problems here, y'all. We don't want no problems. But continue.
Yeah, but we had just kind of been back and forth in conversation for just like a few months, and then it was probably about May the conversation started turning more serious about do you have a resume? And I was like, yeah, I've technically got two, one for food service and my minimum wage jobs, and one with my college work on it. And they asked me if I had done like cosplays before, and I was like, well, yeah, but like not really, like seriously, like I've never made something. I'm a store-bought cosplay person because I don't have the resources to make my own.
Right.
So but I'm fine with that. I've never been like one to want to be in a cosplay contest anyway. Like I'm content with like, maybe somebody has like a kid, like, at a Comic-Con and maybe they want a picture with like, whoever I'm cosplaying. And so I've kind of always thought of cosplays, in that aspect of, of just kind of, just taking on, a character and kind of just, making it your own.
Right.
So, when the interview was arranged in mid-June, I was incredibly skeptical of like the legitimacy of Black Esports Network and like what was up with it.
Ouch, that hurt. That hurt me.
But that was only because I didn't know that I was going to be talking to you.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be talking to the former executive.
Okay.
And then when I talked with you, it was like, wow, like this dude's like for real, like why I don't know why I didn't get the vibe that like this was more like legit than this moment. And like, and as we were going on and we were talking, I was like, man, like this is like what I really wanted to do just basically like fell in my lap. And so like I know like I earned it in the respect of like, that you liked my credentials and like you liked my writing, my clips and my resume, but it was just like I wasn't really looking for, it. I was perfectly confined with being an assistant manager at the food service place that I was at, making the money that I was, and just living in my apartment with my cat and just being like, yeah, I'm cool, So it really was, shocking. And I think because I am new, and I think because BESN TV is, also new in the respect of we are still working very hard to give the people, what our goals are and what our missions are. And we're working very hard to establish our platforms and our Amazon Web Services deal, which is brand new. And,
we chucking, y'all. We chucking. We like I said, continue.
And so I feel like this is, going, I feel like these things, I don't want to say like these things happening to other places is going to help us, but I really think it will give us a foundation of how do we want our workplace culture when we have more employees to look.
Yep.
Like, what are we going to tolerate? What are we not going to tolerate? Are we going to be able to foster
sex harassment is definitely not going to be tolerated at all.
Well, right, but I mean, I think more
any
gray
form of
area.
harassment, period.
Yeah, like,
But then again, real quick though, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but then again, like,
no,
it's us black folks. We like to joke.
Yes.
That's what we do. That's our response is to joke about stuff, and then we continue on.
Yeah.
So
and I think I'm thinking about that more in a respect of like a gray area of like, you know, what's going to be okay, what's not, as far as, you know, teasing goes. And will we foster a workplace culture that will allow us to be open and honest with each other when one takes it too far?
Yeah.
And can we do that, you know, can we do that without breaking the bonds of our workplace culture? And if things get too bad, can we communicate this and work through this with HR so that everyone is okay at the end?
Exactly.
Like, these are, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that, like, I'm not really a fan of, like, workplace, like, television shows. So, like, my only exposure with them has really been The Office.
So, right, and that's a far-fetched world.
So I feel like as long as my workplace culture is not The Office, I think we'll be all right. But you know, but to be serious, like, these are the things that, you know, I think about. And especially, you know, now, like, going, like, through this, like, you know, I need to make sure that, like, if something happens, you know, I'm going to be able to speak up, or if I see something, I'm going to be able to speak up and, like, mention it.
I agree. That was deep. That was real. I like that. That was real. And that's what we are here at BSN. Like, I don't play. Like, I don't play at all, especially as person. And that's the thing, because I like how you brought it up, like, even from the hiring part standpoint, because even in the gaming world in general, like, a lot of companies see like other companies as bullshit and fake. They don't believe in them. They're like, I mean, I used to go through all the time when I was doing Thug Geek. They're like, oh, it's a scam. This is just a guy who wanted a free ticket. It's like, no, I'm deep and real in journalism and gaming. Like, this is my life. Like, and so I got the understanding, and that's why, like, we want to change that perspective with this company. It's like, yo, no, not all persons of color is going to look like that or act like that. This is what they want to do. And so that's like, let's end that second guessing. And that's the problem in the industry. It's the second guess. Oh, well, his name on the resume says freaking this, so he probably can't do this and that. It's like it's already second guessing the person before he even walked in the door. And we got to eliminate that, man. We got to stop that, because that's literally what stops a person that's already awesome from getting hired to being more awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, then they get in, like, oh, I got in finally. Now I got to worry about this workplace harassment, workplace freaking all this other stuff that's going on in the workplace. It's like, that's not a good environment.
No.
I mean, y'all, it's gaming. Like, video games alone do some crazy graphic vile shit.
Like, yeah, and that's the thing is that, like, our video games are, like, you know, like you said, crazy, graphic, violent enough. Like, we don't need that, like, in our real life.
Right, because that's what we got. That's what we go offline to. That's what we log in online to do. It's like, guess what? You want to do debauchery instead? You can play Grand Theft Auto. You want to do this? You jump in this virtual world and do that shit. And you come out of it, all right, we're good. Like, video games is your stress reliever, not your relief. Like, it's not the exact opposite. Like, yeah, but.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but do they have that in The Sims?
What?
Where people can, like they have, like, different, like, HR shit going on in The Sims at all? Because didn't they have a Sims game, like, where it's, like, Sim Workplace or some shit?
It's called Get to Work, but, like, yeah, you have some workplace. They give you some workplace scenarios, like, when you have a career.
Okay.
If you have the Get Famous stuff pack, some of your workplace scenarios revolve around, like, your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you choose one choice, you might gain fame and money, but lose your job.
So there's, like, no scandals? There's no, like, TMZ shit going on?
No.
That'd be a great Sims TMZ. No cameras, please. No cameras.
The Get Famous pack, though, you have, like, paparazzi, but, like, you don't really have to. There's no public scandals anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. My Sim used to have, in The Sims 3, my famous Sims used to have public scandals all the time. It just gets so tiring, because then you have to pay, like, $250 simoleons at City Hall to just, like, pay him off and leave you alone.
You want some money, see?
Yeah. Hate it.
Well, I know. I like that 1920. Hey there, copper. What are you doing here? Get away from me. You can't do that to me, huh?
Get away from me. me. You can't do that to me.
I'm an old man, man. I'm an old man. Get them, boys. Get them, boys. Put up your dukes. Like, who talks
That's
like who talks
That's
like that?
literally the Department of Fair Employment and Housing with Activision Blizzard. Put up your dukes.
Right, put up your dukes. Are you ready? Let's get on and get them. Yeah, see?
Get them, boys. They're being violent against women.
But other than that, do we have anything else we got to cover? Anything else that we hear? This has been a great episode. This shit got real, y'all. This shit got real. Make sure you hit us up, bsn.tv. All our upcoming events. Sign up for tournaments. They have officially started. We have our Monday. We got our community day coming, which is super excited. We're going to be playing Among Us. You're going to jump in out of score. We're going to have some prizes to get away because we got a shit ton of prizes now, too, y'all. It's going to be fantastic.
We have so many prizes. Yes. Like, legit. So many. We really want to give you guys some super cool HyperX merchandise. And HyperX is just really generally overall extra cool.
Extra cool.
I love my HyperX headphones. I mean, I mess with them all the time. You know, I'm always,
it's your go-to. It's the go-to.
It really is. Like, I love them. And they come in all kinds of colors too, so you don't just have to get black and red. But
we have the ones we'll be giving out we have earbuds that we'll be giving out. We actually have the gray, we have a gray, the mixed cloud, and we also have the alpha cloud too. So we have different ones that we're giving out too. So
yes,
especially for our upcoming college league that we're getting ready to start too. More details on that soon too, because it's the summer, y'all. I know you kids get ready to go back to school next month, which is crazy.
Yes, if you are a college student, please follow us on social media to keep up to date on our college esports leagues tournaments. We have one for everybody, and we have a women's esports league.
It's going to be a lot of fun, y'all. You definitely check it out there, Copper. Yeah. Other than that, Coppers. I'm your boy T Fields with the Fonz, and this has been BS episode 5. Thanks you guys for coming. See you next week.